On this episode of Hudson Valley Hustle, I'm joined by Andrew Torres, a.k.a. DJ Grand Finale. He owns The Party Never Stops. It's a full-fledged DJ and entertainment company that does weddings, corporate events, private parties, you name it. This guy's the real deal. Hope you enjoy the episode. So how long you been in the entertainment business? 'Cause that's the industry you're in.
Yeah, the industry I'm in. I started this when I was 15, so almost 20 years I'm going on now.
That's nuts.
It's pretty wild. Yeah, it's a wild ride, but yeah, 20 years in this.
It's probably changed a lot, right, in the last 20 years?
Yes, that's for sure. Yeah, from the first 5 to 10 years that I was in it to the last 5 to 10 years, I've seen it change a lot of ups and downs, and the industry, the landscape of the whole business kind of changes up a lot, but that's the nature of the business, right?
One of the questions I had actually about what you guys do is I see a lot of videos of DJs making their own, I don't know if you'd call them like samples or beats or like mashups.
Yep.
What's like the legality of doing that kind of stuff? Is it like on the up and up, or like how do you get away with doing stuff like that?
The legalities of it have definitely changed in the last few years with streaming and then the way like social media is taking over, right? With TikTok and Instagram Reels and all that stuff like that. So a lot of the record companies have cut deals with these, with these social media apps and stuff like that to be able to use their music a little bit more freely. So I would say nowadays we're a little bit more free to do that than say the last 15 years before that, maybe I would say. Yeah.
I just feel like apps like TikTok and Instagram and whatnot, where it's very like sound heavy, where music is kind of the focus of the video. A lot of times, it's good for artists.
Yeah.
Right?
It's what they need. It's what we need as artists and ways to help get out there. You know what I mean? Get our music out there and use other people's music. And as a DJ too, it's our job to find music that we like and play it and push it forward to other people and show them, hey, maybe you like this song. So it's another way of putting that together on social media and stuff like that. And so, like I said, they've kind of lightened up a little bit.
Yeah.
We're a little bit more free and able to do that and post freely with the music that we'd like online.
That's great, yeah. Because it used to be like, you needed the radio to amplify your stuff, right? Like if you were on the radio, that's where you made it. That's how you knew people would hear you and discover you, right? But like, there's radio stations now that are dedicated to songs that have gone viral on TikTok because that's where the discovery's happening.
Literally, exactly that. 100%, you said it exactly right. The whole radio station is looking for what's the next viral trend on TikTok, grab that soundbite, grab that song, and they push it out there. That's exactly how it works.
That's awesome. So. Yeah. So what do you do specifically now? Like what's your day looking like, your week looking like?
My week to week, every weekend we're slammed with events. We have multiple events, all different styles, and we have an amazing team now that works with us that's really been like the progression the last few years is building the team and now growing it to a point where we're delegating and we're sending out crews to different events and stuff like that. So, you guys are heading out to Poughkeepsie, you guys are heading down to Rockland, and I'm doing an event in the city or wherever else. You know what I mean? So that's been a great thing. The events, man, that's what I love about this business is that every weekend's different. It's like last weekend we had 5 weddings. This weekend we have some nightclubs, and then we kind of switch it up, everything in between the nightclubs and the nightlife scene and the private events. So we kind of figured out a nice balance between it, which is not something that's very easily done in the DJ world, especially in this area. Mm-hmm. So we've kind of found that balance, which kind of keeps it fun and interesting for me, for sure.
That's cool. Yeah, so you guys are nights and weekends, man. Like that's like that's like prime time for you guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 1,000%. Every weekend's booked up. We're booking into 2026 right now, so we're very blessed to be working.
Oh, that's
hard
awesome. That's good.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
So in the last couple of years, you grew the team. How's that been? Has that been an adjustment for you?
Yeah,
and
sure.
is it by your? Are you the owner? Or do you have a partner?
I'm the owner. Yeah, and I say we. I talk like that as a team,
sure,
a team guy. But big shout out to my partner Eddie Scissorhands, of course, too. Party Never Stops, Crowd Kings. He and I, run most of the businesses together. Okay. How it actually works is, so I have my own business and he has his own business, and then we have a couple partnerships in between that. So I have my own accounts and my own kind of work and businesses that I work with, as does he. And then we have a team that works together that kind of helps facilitate and be in between both of these events, or multiple companies are happening at one time, multiple different bookings, and we're kind of able to help manage that together.
Gotcha. So what was the big adjustment for you?
I would say,
people on?
Well, the pandemic was a huge thing, obviously. Like before the pandemic, we were really crushing it. Like between 2015 and 2019, we were growing like exponential rate. The opportunities and the gigs that were happening that coming to us at that time were just better and better each month and all that. Like the growth was really there. So when we were going into 2020, we were, this is our year, blah, blah, blah. We were going to take over. We had already done Virginia. By the time March hit, we had already done Virginia. We were doing Atlantic City. We were planning Miami, like booked. Miami was booked, in the books, ready to go. And then boom, the pandemic happened. So pause on all that. That was really the adjustment. Going from being booked every single weekend and every night to no gigs in the book. So it allowed us to kind of take a step back and relook at the business from like the whole perspective of the business. And it also allowed us to pursue another part of the business that we have now, which is our record label. So we always wrote and produced songs, you know what I mean? Like you kind of mentioned as DJs, like you kind of dabble with stuff like that. And we had been dabbling for a while. But that gave us the opportunity to all right, now we have time. Let's get in the studio. What else are we going to do, right? Let's get in the studio and started really writing songs, producing music like from the ground up. And we built a record label, which we have now. So
that's awesome. You have what kind of artists do you have on it?
It's mostly hip hop and EDM. It's kind of like a clash of it. We call it the Royal Bounce sound. It's a mashup of like hip hop, EDM. There's also some like Latin vibes in there, a little bit of rock and roll. So that's kind of like our signature sound that we're kind of created.
What got you into the music business then? Because sounds like this has been a long time coming.
It has, for sure. So I got in it because my father was a DJ. So he passed that along to me. He was a DJ in Brooklyn back in the 80s. So he had it. He never really quite took it like the business side of it, like more like fun with his friends, and, did it for a little while there. And then, met my mom, had me and my brother and all that. So, the way that story goes. But he's the one that saw something in me at a young age. He kind of recognized the talent and that I had, a gift and things like that, and kind of helped push me in that direction as a teenager to kind of pursue this thing, and took off from there.
Gotcha. So did you always love music, or?
Always, for sure. Always big part of our household and our family, 100%. My dad being a DJ in the 80s, it was a lot of Run DMC and hip hop and some rock and roll and stuff. And my mom, she's big with like Motown and soul music. So I got all that stuff from the 60s to the 90s growing up. You know what I mean? All that really good, like soulful, just good family music. And it was always a part of me, for sure.
Gotcha. So you guys do a lot of weddings?
Yes, sir. A lot of weddings.
Yeah.
Very, very busy right now.
So I find the wedding thing interesting, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like the wedding industry, right?
Okay.
I don't, right? Because it's from... I don't know. I'm just not a fan of it, right? Personally.
I get it.
It's a big emotional purchase,
For
right?
sure.
So like, it's very, it's gotten super expensive.
Yep.
And I just, again, personally, just not a fan.
I get it.
But what's interesting to me is the business side of things on your end.
Sure.
Is like, how do you guys? So you go to a wedding. Mm-hmm. You've got grandma that's 85 years old.
You got it.
And then you've got bride and groom who are in their 20s and all their friends. So how do you guys now mix that up so you're not making grandma go deaf, but also keeping it a party for the young crowd?
Joe, it's a fantastic question. I love getting this question. Actually, I'm lighting up as you were asking it to me. That is kind of part of the secret, is if you're able to do that, you can do very, very well in this business. And most people, honestly, can't. It's an art. It's you know what I mean? It's a style and technique that, again, it's not very, it's not easy to do. It's not applicable in a lot of different ways to be able to cater to the 85-year-old and the 25-year-old in the same night. That's kind of what we do best. That's kind of like the basis of the Party Never Stops. It's like, it doesn't matter if you're 85 or 5. We can play to that crowd.
Nice.
And we can play to any crowd. That's the thing of Crowd Kings. That's where that came from. Like, does not matter the crowd. It could be a group of 10-year-olds, or it could be 10,000 25-year-olds, or it could be grandma and grandpa at their 60th wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
We've done it all, and I can do it all.
Yeah.
And not many people can say that, and that's one thing that I'm very proud of. That's like I said, kind of what we base the whole perspective of the industry is around that. So as I mentioned too, balancing the nightlife and the private events, which is, again, another hard thing to do. So it's kind of the same concept. If you're able to do that, if you're able to balance that, you can do really well in this business. You can do really, really well in this business. Yeah. And we, happen to be doing pretty well right now.
That's good. So like, is it, so I got married like 11, 12 years ago at this point, right?
Yeah.
So like, it's even in that short period of time, I'm sure like things have changed.
Oh, so much.
But like, is it, because I feel like weddings now are getting later and later, and they're just turning into like these kick-ass parties.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Is that basically it?
That's very true.
Is like the older crowd just done at like 10 o'clock and then like the party keeps going?
That's true too. Yeah, that's a good part of it. Like you get grandma and grandpa usually leave after the cake's cutting. You know what I mean? They cut the cake and all that. And then like you start seeing some of the older crowd like, oh, we're going to get going, and that kind of vibe. But what a lot of people, especially the people that hire us, they specifically book that extra hour, that last hour of the night, whether it's like that last 11 to 12 hour block. And they're like, listen, by this point, all formalities done. We want all that out of the way. Grandma and grandpa are going to be back on the bus already, going back to the hotel. And we want a party. And we want this, that. And we want it to turn up. And again, the clients that see us, that know us, they know what we bring and what we can do. And they want that. They're looking for that.
I love that.
So that's the balance. I mean, that's early in the night, 6:30, 7.
Yeah,
we're playing Earth, Wind, and Fire, you know what I mean? And those classics like Celebration, Kool and the Gang, like, sure, we're still playing those hits, definitely. But as the night progresses, we're able to kind of get in and out of the decades and in and out of the genres seamlessly. And that's part of the craft, and that's part of what, why we're booked so well and
that's
things
awesome,
like that.
Man. No, that's good. Yeah, that's good. You get any like weird requests from?
All the time. I guess the biggest thing now is the do not playlist, right? That's very, very specific. There's like, again, most people who hire us, they kind of know what they're getting. Like they already know like, okay, we want you guys because you guys bring the energy and all this, but they're big on like, we do not want like line dances. That's like the big thing at weddings. Like they don't want Cha-Cha Slide or Electric Slide or Cupid Shuffle, like any of those songs. That's the big one lately. There's always like one or two out there that like you either like absolutely love or hate Taylor Swift for whatever reason. Like we get those, like some brides will be like, play all the Taylor, and others like, do not play Taylor Swift at my wedding. You know what I mean? So you get a little bit of that for whatever reason. She's like the polarizing one this year. You know what I mean? But it's always something. We've been doing this a long time, so we've seen. I wouldn't say we've seen it all, but we've seen a lot.
Any genres that you guys like won't touch?
No, not necessarily. If they're the paying customer and they want to hear a certain genre that maybe we don't play often, no problem. We can do that.
But you figure out a way to get it into the mix. And
100%. And we're very big on preparation. Like we're not the DJs that just show up and like, oh, we're here. Like we take the time during the week to prep, and we talk to the clients, to the bride and groom, like figure out what they like, and maybe like their playlist is catered to their family, but I want to know what you guys like. You know what I mean? Like I get into that as well too. So there's definitely not a genre that we won't touch. I mean, generally speaking, we don't play like, heavy metal and stuff like that at weddings, but
I'm out.
Every once in a while you get that and they're like, we want to come out to Metallica, and you're like, no doubt, let's go. And like, we played Enter Sandman at a wedding the other day. Father of the bride came out, he's playing like air guitar and stuff, like, you know what I mean? Cool. So really, man.
Well, that's the thing with music, man. Like it's such a personal thing to the people that are hosting the party, right? So it usually has a strong connection to them in their past, and
100%.
they want to involve that in probably one of the biggest events that they're ever going to have in their life.
Exactly.
So.
And you just said it too, like the thing about music, right? You can hear a song, right? And it brings you back to a place instantly, right? The moment you hear that note. So that's a big thing that we talk about as well too, is like when brides and grooms are putting their playlists together, like I'm less worried about like the party songs or like, again, Kool and the Gang or Earth, Wind, and Fire, like those are obvious. But I want to know, like, what's the song that comes to your mind when you think of like your girls from college? Like I talk to the bride like that. Like what's the song that like when you and all your girls from college hear, it brings you back to like sorority time. And and then, you know what I mean? I get those core memories from them. And I find those songs and those artists and genres maybe that's like, oh, back in the day we were really big into the boy bands. So like the NSYNC Backstreet Boy little set will get thrown in there. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of bring back to those memories and kind of, like you said, make it so personal to them.
Yeah, that's
that
good.
Is a memory for their lifetime.
Yeah, that's really good because I'm always big into musician, been music all my life.
Yeah.
And like certain things you hear it and it just, like you said, takes you right back to a snapshot in time. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's amazing thing. It's amazing thing that music is.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yes, it is.
And to have that in like with a group full of people, like the energy and everybody vibing on it. It's gotta be sexy.
To be able to control that.
Yeah, absolutely.
The power that music holds, and as a DJ and as the MC, to be able to control that and to manipulate the dance floor in a way that I'm bringing different memories and different ideas and thoughts from the past, the future, new music to old music, and blending it seamlessly.
Oh, I've seen some crazy mashups on TikTok and whatnot. It was, yeah, I've seen some awesome
we get into
stuff.
that now. Again, we're like now with the new trends and all that, we're big into those mashups. Like,
you see the people like react to it. They're like, no way, he just did that. That's sick.
Yeah, that's still, again, that's what's fun about doing this after 20 years. Like, I still get excited for that moment.
I like that.
I'm I want to try.
Cool.
Like, I'm still trying things out for the first time ever. Now, like, you know what? These two songs have no business being together, but like, I wonder if this would be cool. Boom, and I go for it. And like when it hits like that, again, it's still the best feeling. You see, like, you know, someone turn around, whether it's in the club or at the party, like
who like gets it, like it clicks with them.
They click. They're like, whoa, like, you know what I mean. You always find one or two, and that's the thing. Reading the crowd is a big part of what we do. So I'm reading the crowd, and I'm kind of looking out there, and like, and then when I make that mix, and I see that one person kind of like ears perk up, and like, you know, you did
something right.
You got him. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I mean, you obviously love this, right? Like, you obviously do what you do. You do this full time, I assume, right?
Sure.
This is
Absolutely.
like this is what you're doing,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
I'm not knocking anybody that does DJing as a side hustle or events as a side hustle. I'm not knocking that at all. But I want to know, what does it take then to go from side hustle to full kind of enterprise that you're building?
Yeah.
That, you know, it's very difficult for many.
Sure.
What does that take?
It's a great question. It's actually something that I'm working on. So aside from the DJ business, I'm also working on my public speaking, and I'm going to be doing a lot more public speaking. And, you know, once I get a little bit further away from the DJ business, but I have a keynote that I'm working on this exact topic, how to take it from the part-time thing to the full-time. It's something I'm working on. I'm training other DJs to teach them how to do it as well. I have a lot of people that come to me and ask me that same exact question. Like, yo, I do this on the side. And again, no knock at all. I've worked other jobs. I did this through my 20s. I worked in pizzerias. I worked in, you know what I mean? Like, to hustle, to build it, to get to this point, to be able to have it full time. But really, it is the balance of the nightlife and the private events is really the answer to your question. Like, a lot of guys are like, they're amazing wedding DJs. They're awesome at that, but that's what they do. They don't DJ in nightclubs. They don't do Sweet 16s or quinceañeras or other type of events. And by all means, like, you can absolutely make a living just DJing weddings. Like, every Saturday, you're going to be booked at somebody's wedding, no doubt about it. 52 weeks a year, you can do that. But what we found and the way that we've done it is being able to do the balance, being able to do the weddings, being able to do, we do corporate events, we do Sweet 16s, quinceañeras, mitzvahs, like, you know, teenager parties, we do everything, showers, you know, graduations. Being able to be that diverse and being able to be in all of those different, you know, scenarios and situations is what allows my calendar to be booked up every single weekend.
Gotcha.
And, you know, again, there's no knock on that. Like you said, if you're a wedding DJ, you're a nightclub guy, and that's what you do every week, that's cool. But for us, being able to do both, it keeps it fun. It's not like, that's this thing too. I didn't want to be just a wedding DJ like every weekend. Like, I'm just going out to another wedding, putting on my black suit. Like, I like switching it up. Like, I like on a Friday night, I'll be at a nightclub. Saturday night, I'm doing a wedding, and then Sunday, I'm doing like a corporate event. Like, being able to do that and being that diverse and being in those different, that's what keeps us busy. And I think that's what allows us to do it full time and be able to pick and choose the types of events that we want.
I love that. Yeah. No, that's great. I'll tell you something that I ask a lot of people who are super passionate about their passion that they turn into a business is a lot of times you can kind of like lose that love for what you do because it's now work, right? You know how they say like, oh, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
Exactly.
Well, it can turn into work if you don't do it correctly. So has that ever happened to you where like you get tired of like?
Personally, no. I know plenty of people that have dealt with that or battled that. Personally, I haven't, because of what I was just saying. Like, because I've kept it so fresh, and every weekend to me is different. Like, if I were just a wedding DJ and every Friday and Saturday I was DJing weddings and I did 100 weddings a year, that would definitely happen to me.
Gotcha.
Because those days are long. Like, those conversations and the prep for all that, talking with the brides and grooms and getting to know them and all that, there is a lot of work that goes into that. So for that, I will say, sure, that's the work side of it. But again, I truly just absolutely love what I do. Like, there's nothing better in the world. There's no job better than being a DJ, than creating memories and being there for people's like most important moments of their life and helping shape that, being a part of that. It's so incredible to me. So I've always had that. And again, that's kind of part of my personality, my energy, and that what I bring to the table is that fire and that love for what I do. So I've been blessed, man. I've really been blessed to, at a very young age, I kind of knew what I wanted out of life and what I, wanted to pursue. And for me, it has never been a second guess or ever looking back. Like, this is always what I wanted to do.
Yeah, you would do it again in a heartbeat.
A million times.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
I 100% know what you mean.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
Sure.
That's how I feel. So you have a family? I think you said you had.
I do. Yes.
You were with the kiddos this morning.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I got a 1-year-old daughter, and we're expecting another daughter in a couple months by around
nice.
Christmas time.
Oh, nice.
I have 2. So yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man.
Thank you very much. Cool. Busy guy, man. But,
yeah, absolutely. So
big
how
shout
do you?
Out to my wife, Kat. I love you, and to the kids, I love you guys.
How's the support there? How's
Amazing.
that been?
The best.
How important is that?
Vital. Imperative. I mean, any word that you can use that means important. It's everything. You got to have that, man. Again, it's balance. Like, balance of life and business and work and play and all that kind of stuff is so important in this business. It's so hard to. It's hard to kind of keep them separated sometimes. Mixing the family and those long nights come into early mornings and late night last night turns into early diapers this morning, but. Having a supportive wife. And when I met her when I was DJing. So she knew, like, right from the get. It's not like, something
surprise.
Like, surprise. I want to be a DJ, like, tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, I was already doing this for such a long time. So she kind of figured it out, within the first few years or so, like, really understood what it took and saw the long hours that I put in and stuff like that.
Yeah. Because that's a tough gig for a dad, right?
Yeah.
Your weekends is typically when,
Yep.
I would say like an average dad might be home more on the weekends with the family. You're out hustling. Yeah.
Getting home at 3-4 o'clock in the morning and changing diapers at 8:39 a.m. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I love it. Again, I really truly love what I do, and I love my family. I love everything that that they mean to me.
Yep.
So it's worth it. Like those are small sacrifices in my eyes. You know what I mean? To get up and do that. The great thing is, though, by doing this and having this job during the week, when most guys, like you said, are doing the 9 to 5 or doing the 3 to 11, that day to day, Monday through Friday, I'm home.
You're around. Yeah.
I'm home. I feed my daughter breakfast every day.
Love it.
You know what I mean? I get to be with her every morning, and and then in the afternoon I start fielding calls, or hey, I got a call with this bride, or I got to talk with this manager of this club that we're working at now. Like, I'm doing my calls and stuff like that all day throughout the week, but I'm there. I get to be home, and I get to have fun and hang with them, be with them all week long.
That's great. That's special, man. It
is.
Yeah, because as they're growing up, right, they're going to see around them that, during the week,
I'm there.
Nobody's around for them, right?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
You'll be home.
Yeah.
You ever think about that? Like, your kids will remember that, like, as they get
all
older?
All the time. And it's a conscious decision and thought that I've made and I've talked with my wife about. Because like I said, I think about it all the time. Like, being able to do this, being able to be there, be a part of their lives. And now we're getting to a place too, like I said, where we can pick and choose the events that we go to. And I have teams out there that if it's a weekend and it's her birthday, or I could just take the weekend off and, all right, guys, I need you guys to cover some gigs. I'm off this week, and just do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a big part of my balance. Like, I'll give you another example. A month or so ago, my parents wanted to take us to Sesame Place, right? Bring the kids, bring the wife, to Sesame Place. So I DJ'd Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 gigs, like crazy weekend, multiple teams out. And here we are Monday morning, like packing the car up, putting the carriage in, and I'm driving to Philadelphia. You know what I mean? Like, tired, but I'm there. You know what I mean? I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And it's just, like I said, I love it. I love my family, and I love what I do so much that those are just the small sacrifices that it takes to do it.
I think a lot of entrepreneurs, when they start out, business owners, when they start out, that kind of freedom kills them.
Yeah.
Because they won't do what you're doing, which is the real grind and the real hustle.
Right.
So how do you not let that freedom get to you?
For me, I would say my process is I'm very much a man of routine, very much like habitual. Like, everything to me is like, I have my routine, I have my schedule. I'm very adamant about my schedule and how I do things. Like, very important is time management, for sure. Like, that's the biggest thing I would say. It's like, I know on certain days, at certain times, I'm with the family. On certain days, at certain times, I'm with doing the business. Like, for instance, every weekend, is gigs. So every Thursday is a prep day. Like that's the day that I meet with my partner. I meet with the teams. We go over the weekend's events. Like that's set in stone. Like the family knows that. Like everybody, my brother knows that. My parents know that. Like Thursday's a busy day for me, and then the weekends are busy. So time management, very meticulous, like with my phone and scheduling things and stuff like that. Just being like, you know, for instance, today it's a weekday. This is when I'm doing interviews and I'm doing phone calls and I'm doing business notes like this type of thing throughout the week. And then Thursday's prep for weekend. You know what I mean? So very meticulous with my schedule. Very serious about time management. That's very, very important to keep the balance in this business for sure.
Yeah, you gotta, because otherwise it'll eat you.
Yeah. It'll eat you up, especially when you're getting home at 4 a.m. and 5 a.m.
That's gotta be
and
tough,
all that. But like I said, that time is allotted. That's set in stone. I already know, and my family knows, you know, if I have a couple, let's say it's the winter time and we do like small events, some of those events end at 10 or 11. I get home at midnight. That's great on a Friday night to get home at midnight. That's like a dream, you know what I mean? So, but every weekend's different. And like I said, just managing that time is really, really key.
Yeah, definitely. I would imagine that your events, like your weddings, your parties, your corporate events, all that kind of stuff is an amazing marketing opportunity for you guys.
For sure.
Because like how many people get to experience the product at somebody else's expense before they think, I'm going to buy that?
Yep. Exactly that, man. Exactly that. And that's how I've built my entire business. 100% is word of mouth. I'm only really just starting now to get into social media and doing interviews and stuff like this is to help get out there a little bit more. But literally for the last 19 years, it's strictly word of mouth. They see me at this party, say that you were awesome. Hey, I saw you at this one's wedding. And I'm really blessed too to have like many families out there that I've DJ'd like 3 or 4 of their kids' weddings, like all of their siblings. We have a few actually where we DJ their Sweet 16, and then 10 years later we DJ their wedding. Like we have a lot of clients like that, and like really tight knit people that just know us and just again spread the word. You know what I mean? Or you need a DJ? I got a great guy. You know what I mean? And exactly that. So every weekend is a new opportunity for a new client. Someone's seen that. I've been doing this 20 years, but someone's still seen me for the first time.
Well, dude, you're in a room with hundreds of people. You're in the room with hundreds of people.
Every weekend.
Chances are somebody there might need you pretty soon, or knows somebody that might need you. Oh, dude, I was at this party last weekend and these guys were kicking it. Like it was
all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Literally all the time.
That's awesome.
That's what we're very, very blessed to have and to do. And we just did another event this past weekend, right? And the lady's like, we see like this lady, she's kind of looking at us and we're like, what's up with her? And then she's like, walks over and she's like, is this you guys? And it's a picture of us from like 12 years ago. Like,
that's great.
Like,
that's
you know what I mean? Like,
that's cool.
And we're like, yeah, that's us. She's like, you did my daughter's wedding. I knew we looked familiar.
Yeah.
All the time. We're so blessed to have that. And like, been doing this for so long in this area. Just, again, very, very blessed to have that.
One interesting thing about what you guys do is I would imagine that there's a lot of pressure for each event, right? Sure. Especially like a wedding, right?
Yeah.
Like, because we're in the video business, right? But we don't do weddings. Like we're mainly, business, social media, marketing, ads, that kind of thing. And every now and then, like somebody will be like, oh, do you guys do? And I was like, I will never even entertain that.
Okay.
Just because the pressure alone to do that. I mean, again, like my weekends are sacred for me, but but on the other side of that is the pressure of that. You got to get it right. Yeah. So like, how do you deal with that and like make,
Well, I guess I'll say one thing is I'm very lucky to say that I think I handle pressure well. I'm one that's cool under pressure. I'm not a person that gets very flustered or a lot of people come to me when they feel pressure.
Yep, you're the guy.
I'm the guy. I'm the solutions guy. Right? When there's a problem, when something's going wrong, they come to me and I'm the one that can help figure out the best solution and I can do it quickly. Yep. It's a gift of mine. It's something I've always been able to do since a very young age. I think it's my background in sports too. Like I played a lot of sports and stuff. Like sports was my first passion even before music. So maybe it comes from that, just being in like championship games at a 12-year-old. You know what I mean? Like having moments like that as a kid
absolutely
definitely helps and when you're in the moment here. So I think to your point though, plenty of other DJs certainly have those moments. And that's what I'm teaching our guys on our team now is to be ready and prepared for anything. Yeah. Because especially in someone's wedding or something like that, things change or something happens or you can't play the wrong song for the first dance. You know what I mean? Like that there's certain things
that's what I mean. There's a lot riding on.
There is ride on that. So once again, it's our preparation. We prepare we are so prepared. And I prepare my team the way that I prepare.
Yep.
They have to do the same type of preparation. Perfect. Otherwise, they're not going out in the gig type of thing.
Yeah.
Because that, like, the way we create our folders and the playlists, and okay, this is the first dance, this is the parent dance, this is the cake cutting song. Like, all of that, again, is very meticulously planned out. It's organized. It was done earlier in the week. By Thursday, it's already in a playlist, ready to go for Saturday. Like, so there's no really second guessing of that. Like, again, even if a DJ who's covering an event for me is like, here's the music, this is the list, this is the order it's played in, go kill it. You know what I mean? And, and we're able to do that. So
that's great, man.
Yeah, man.
You guys sound pretty legit.
Pretty legit. We doing all right, man.
That's
I
good,
appreciate
man.
that.
I love that. No, that's
Thank
awesome.
you.
And I've known Eddie for a
while.
Great.
I
haven't connected with him in like a long time, but I know him and he's cool.
I called him right after we spoke on the phone.
Did you?
I said, dude, I just got off the phone with Joe. And it was
That's
cool.
Yeah,
Very
definitely
cool.
say hi to him for me for sure.
Will do.
So if somebody wants to book you for a party, learn more about what you guys do, where do they reach out?
Get me on social media at DJ Grand Finale, GRANDFINALE, DJ Grand Finale on all my social media tags. Give us a call. The party never stops, man. Let's do it.
That's good, man. Love it. Thanks so much for coming in, man. This has been great, man.
Appreciate it, man.
I love it. And good luck, and we'll see you soon, I'm sure.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. Vivo Creative. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.